Frank Sinatra, a singer also known as Old Blue Eyes, the voice and chairman of the board, was born in Hoboken, New Jersey in 1915, and he rose to fame as one of the greatest crooners in history. His performance in the 1953 film From Here to Eternity earned him an Oscar. In the 1950s and 1960s, Sinatra solidified his position as one of the most gifted singers and actors in the world. But like most people, Sinatra was not immune from his relationship issues. 1. Nancy Barbato and Frank Sinatra first met in Long Branch, New Jersey in 1934 when they were both teenagers. According to the New York Times, the couple got married 5 years later at the Our Lady of Sorrows Church in Jersey City. The young couple faced financial difficulties. Frank couldn't even afford an engagement ring, so he gave Nancy his mother's ring, per the Chicago Tribune. Nancy helped Frank's budding career despite their predicament. His fans grew over time, and when Hollywood called, he moved to the West Coast. 2. Frank Sinatra cheated on his new wife within a year of their marriage. According to the Chicago Tribune, he gave the other woman Nancy's jewelry and kept a picture of a mistress in his wallet. Then, Frank began dating Ava Gardner, one of Hollywood's most well-known and attractive stars at the time. Their relationship garnered widespread media attention. Finally, Nancy consented to the divorce. Only a few weeks after the divorce papers were filed, Frank and Gardner got married. 3. After their divorce, Nancy Sinatra was granted custody of their 3 children. According to the New York Times, she also received their house in the affluent Los Angeles neighborhood of Holmby Hills, a Cadillac, and a portion of Frank's annual salary. She told Tony Appadisano, a member of Frank's management team, that Frank was a great father and was always there for their kids, and she loved him greatly via Fox News. In order to avoid interfering with his career, she consented to the divorce. Nancy never remarried after that. 4. Because she was concerned that his affair would damage his career, Nancy Sinatra divorced Frank. Anyway, his career took a severe hit, and he faced financial issues. The Chicago Tribune reported that Frank had to borrow money in order to give Nancy for the divorce settlement. He would use the Gardner's own credit cards to make her gift purchases. Frank was a singer who was adored by many people in America, but over time, his fans' musical preferences had changed. His public relationship with Gardner also damaged his reputation per people. His film and music careers both suffered. 5. Ava Gardner became pregnant while filming Mogambo in 1952 and made the decision to have the baby aborted. After discovering what had transpired, Sinatra reportedly became extremely upset. Gardner later became pregnant again, and this time she still decided to have an abortion. Actresses who had children were subject to penalty clauses at MGM, where Gardner was employed. Since Sinatra was not earning any money, Gardner worried that she would soon lose her job and that her only option was to have an abortion. 6. Sinatra and Gardner's relationship was not fond from the beginning. According to Server, the two allegedly got together at a party in 1949. Other sources placed the date at 1950, and the inebriated pair then drove from Palm Springs to Indio, California, where Sinatra shot at streetlights and Gardner shot out a hardware store window. They were taken into custody, but her film company paid for their release. According to People, Sinatra and Gardner clashed over politics, music, and each other's lovers. Their affair was extremely explosive and toxic. According to biographer Anthony Uzorowski, still bears the scars of those fights. 7. There are claims that Frank Sinatra attempted suicide 3 times. According to reports, he attempted suicide in his New York apartment. Moreover, Gardner's cheating on him with a Spanish bullfighter prompted the singer taking too much sleeping pills, but was quickly discovered by his valet. He even entered the bedroom at one point with a gun held against his head. According to J. Randy Taraborelli via Express, Sinatra was bipolar, moody, and a heavy drinker who referred to himself as an 18-carat manic depressive. Sinatra never experienced genuine happiness. 8. Mia Farrow debuted on the Peyton Place soap opera when she was just 18 years old. Frank Sinatra was introduced to her. Before getting married, the couple dated for a brief period of time. At that time, Farrow was only 19 and Sinatra was 50. The relationship reached its breaking point when Farrow opted to star as the lead in Rosemary's Baby rather than alongside Sinatra in his movie The Detective. While she was filming, he ended up serving her with divorce papers. 9. Mia Farrow married Frank Sinatra a year after they first met. After only 2 years of marriage, they divorced. Sinatra and Farrow's marriage suffered as a result of Sinatra's disapproval of Farrow's career. Filming Rosemary's Baby took longer than expected, keeping her away from her husband. Sinatra had advised his wife not to work in the film industry. After those things, Farrow still responded yes when asked by Vanity Fair in 2013 if Sinatra was her great love. 10. Frank Sinatra and Barbara Blakely Oliver first met in 1957 in Las Vegas, when he was at the height of his fame. According to the Washington Post, she avoided the celebrity because he was intoxicated. In the early 1970s, after Sinatra's divorce from Mia Farrow, she grew close to him. In 1976, they got married. They were together for 22 years before his death in 1998 at the age of 82. 11. Barbara revealed that it took her a total of 5 years to accept Frank's proposal before they were married in 1976. She found it particularly difficult to accept her official relationship with the well-known singer and the use of his last name. After 22 years of marriage, Barbara passed away in 2017 at the age of 90. 12. Even though Frank Sinatra and Barbara had the longest marriage, the singer never forgot Nancy, his first love. Near the end of his life, Frank considered returning to Nancy. Fox News reported that the two had a friendship and a connection for their entire lives. He and Nancy talked on the phone many nights and celebrated birthdays and holidays together. However, Frank was still faithful to Barbara, his last wife.